Alright, we're back. We're going to talk briefly today about straight angles, straight lines, and the 180-degree rule. So, given any line, there's always 180 degrees within any given line. So that's 180 degrees. And then the problems that we use with straight angles are pretty straightforward. They're giving you a line, and occasionally they'll say, let's say we have this ray that comes out of there, and then they'll say that this is, let's say, 40 degrees, and then they want you to find the measure of that angle there. Well, if there's 180 degrees total in the entire line going this way, x has to be whatever 180 minus 40 is equal to, so it's 140 degrees left for x. They may make an algebra problem out of this. So, for example, they'll have something like this. Here's our line again. Let's say it looks like this. Then they'll say this is 5x, and that's 1x. And they want you to ask you to find the value of x, in which case, again, because this angle here and then this angle here make up the straight line, that means together, the two angles together, the 5x plus the x, have to add up to 180 degrees. So we set up the equation like that. This angle plus that angle equals 180. Gather up like terms on the left side. So it looks like 6x is equal to 180. Divide both sides by 6 to solve for x. So x is equal to 30 degrees. So that means this side is 30, and if they wanted this side has to be 150 degrees, respectively. And there's our 180 degrees total for the straight line. So that's a relatively simple algebra problem. As complex as it gets for straight lines in algebra, you might have a problem that looks like this. Again, here's our straight line. Let's say we have this still there. This is 2x, and then this side here, this angle here is, let's go 5x plus 40. And again, we have two angles, this angle here and then this angle here, that make up the straight line. So that means the two angles added together have to make up 180 degrees total. So we can say that the 5x plus 40, I'm going to put parentheses around it, that's the first one, plus this 2x has to equal 180. So that's the equation we set up. Two angles added together make 180. And then on the left side, a little algebra simplifying. We're going to use the parentheses because we can remove the parentheses. That allows us to do this, and we'll add them together. Gather up like terms. We have a 5x plus a 2x gives us 7x plus the 40 equals 180. Subtract 40 from both sides of the equation. And notice how we write it out going downwards. Keep the equal sign on top of each other as best you can. Always work downwards in math. And then from there, we'll get 7x on the left side because the 40 minus 40 goes to 0 equals 180 minus 40 is 140. So divide both sides by 7. And then we'll go ahead and get x is equal to 140 divided by 7 is 20. So many times in the book they'll not ask us just to solve for x, they'll ask us to find the actual two angles. So that means we take the answer we got and then simply substitute them in for x's here, so that if I plug in x is equal to 20 into this, I get 40 degrees there. If I plug in x is equal to 20 into this, I'll get, well, 5 times 20 is 100, plus 40 is 140. And we could have done the math earlier in that if I knew this is 40, this has to be 140 because 180 degrees always makes up a line for us. Let's see. Sorry about that. Zoom out a little here. So again, we just substituted the x's into each of these to find the missing pieces. Just make sure you read the problem real carefully. Sometimes they ask us to solve for x. Sometimes they ask you to find the biggest angle. They ask you to find the smallest angle, or sometimes they ask you to find both. But if you read carefully, you'll know what you do. So that's 180 degrees in a straight line. Relatively simple, you know.